So in the last 20 years, the role of Baker Ripley in the Houston region has been to create a welcoming region, a place where everyone has access to opportunity. And we are doing this work literally with a front row seat to the largest demographic change of any city in the country. And we've watched Houston grow from this sort of biracial southern oil and gas town of the 1980s to the most diverse city in the United States. We've been the welcome mat. It's been our role to create places and neighborhoods where people can get a start. When I talk about people who are shipwrecked, I think about the hundreds of thousands of people I've seen have to begin their lives again. I really developed a fascination with this remarkable creativity we possess as a species, and it's the ability to recreate lives out of our own imagination. And I saw it in the people that came to Houston after Katrina. I see it in the refugees that just arrived last week from Syria to Houston. And these are people that have had to leave everything behind, and now they have to fashion a new life in a new place, in a new setting, with new friends, with a new job, with a new school. And I study and think about what are the things that we do that enable people, that support them on that journey to recreate their lives. What really helps? What does real help look like? So I believe there are more and more people in the world that will face this creative challenge of having to rebuild their lives. And I want to know more and more about what cities and institutions like ours can do to make that a faster and less painful process. Well, so I'll just have to use a little Texasism to explain what I mean by community engagement and help. It ain't help if they didn't ask. So in the past, there's been a lot of help, a lot of things that were done in the guise of help that are really were about imposing our own wishes on people, colonizing neighborhoods. And we are deeply respectful of human beings and their own aspirations. We believe that diving deeply into what people are hungry for. What is it they're really trying to achieve in their own lives? What are their greatest concern? What keeps them up at night and gets them up in the morning? Knowing that and then resourcing that is the most powerful way to engage people. It's the most powerful way to invest in them. And we've found by doing that, that we create really sustainable and transformative efforts in neighborhoods and communities. And we see it at the individual level, we see it at the family level, we see it at the neighborhood level. At Neighborhood Centers, now known as Baker Ripley, we've had to simplify a lot for people the goal of all of our work, because we work across the landscape of help and services from schools, community centers, credit unions. But what it comes down to for us, and the same aspirations that we think are shared in Houston, Texas, in Beirut, in the refugee camps in the Middle East, these same aspirations are to earn, learn, and belong. We feel like these are the common human hungers. We all want to feel we do work that others will value and people will pay us for. We all want to be treated as though we can learn and gain new knowledge and skills, and every one of us wishes to belong, to have a community where we feel at home. So everything we do and everything we measure falls into one of those categories of aspiration. And by working with people around those categories, we feel like we're right at the heart of what matters most to people. So one of the things I really value, the contributions that policymakers make to practitioners. I am a practitioner, full-blown. I can think about something 5 minutes before I want to do it and try it. We rely on policymakers to shine the big broad light, to open up an aperture, to take in all of those elements, to study what's working city to city, to find the common themes the common elements, to spread the knowledge of what's most effective. So, because those of us who are really busy in the doing often don't have the opportunity to think and reflect. So when policymakers will study what institutions like ours do, we'll study the practical application of the theories of how to integrate. And we'll study how those are being played out. We'll study the length of time it's taking, what kind of resources really make a difference, how they're funded, how they're resourced. This is valuable to practitioners because we can absorb this and then we go to work the next day to figure out how to shift what we're doing to align with what works best. I think we are particularly concerned in the world right now in cities with how we integrate flows of people. One of the most critical functions of a city going forward will be its ability to absorb human capital, to incorporate it, to put it to work, to make it socially connected. So the more we can learn about cities and their role in creating landing places and on-ramps for people, the better we'll be.